Hey guys, this will just be a very brief show where I just touch on some of my commentary from today. It's been a long day, and unfortunately, most of today was really boring. So I spent so much of my day half listening to the Tallahassee Democrat live stream, as well as Don DeQuisto's channel, hoping that something would happen. But most of the time, instead, we were just constantly looking at that seal of the state of Florida and the carpet in the courtroom because they were speaking with prospective jurors in private outside of the hearing range of the cameras. So, what exciting stuff happened today? Well, we got a glimpse of Charlie Adelson. He looks bad. He looks like he's aged about 15 years since he's been in jail, which has been about a year and a half. And one of the biggest news was that we found out who the consultants are. Apparently, Charlie Adelson and I assume his parents are forking out the big bucks for three consultants. One of them is a lawyer, Josh Dubben, who owns this consulting company in New York City. He's also a licensed attorney in Florida, and he has an office, I think, in Miami as well as Manhattan. So looks like a really fancy website where he has a bunch of different people working for him. There's also somebody named, let's see, Bill Wenzel. I think that's his name. Someone with a PhD who is there working, possibly somebody else from his company. So let's see. So you can see the profiles of everybody here, but I'm just thinking, how much are these people, these three extra people, in addition to the two attorneys on the case, how much are they charging? Probably at least, I would guess, 500 to even 1,000 or more per hour. Plus, you have to pay for them to travel there, pay for their hotel costs. Granted, maybe a couple of them will be gone after jury selection. So I wasn't really sure who the third guy was. Could have been this person. It was hard to see. And they didn't really show these people on the screen today. But this is called DubbenConsulting.com. He's also in charge of a clinic at Cardoso Law School. And I just remember as a snide remark that when I used to read JD Underground, people used to make fun of Cardoso Law School and call it Bozo because it was a low-ranked law school where some of the graduates had a really tough time getting employment. So Josh Dubben himself went to Nova Southeastern Law School. That's the school where Charlie got his dental degree. So, okay, so take that off the screen. So it is not Tim Jansen. And of course, we do wish Tim a speedy recovery. Hope he's not in too much pain after his bike accident last week. Okay, so let's take a look here just for some more visual flavor. You get to see Charlie's photo here. He does look kind of creepy and scared just in time for Halloween, right? His birthday is next week. He's going to be 47, I think, on the 27th. So maybe his lawyers will bring him a little cake or a treat or something. He's probably excited to finally wear a nice suit again and possibly get something nice and different to eat for lunch. Okay, so what else happened today? Gosh, seemed like it was just really, really slow with nothing happening. So that was kind of a downer today, but what did we expect? I didn't even think that that would be live streamed anyway. So I think it was after 5 when I was watching Surviving the Survivor. Suddenly, something exciting happened when Judge Everett popped up on the screen, and suddenly you could hear his loud, authoritative voice telling the prospective jurors that they better be mindful, do not talk to each other about the case. You've already been instructed about this. So I was like, well, that's where his experience as a former high school teacher really comes in handy, because he was laying down the law and just admonishing those people. I guess there was probably some report that people were, in fact, talking about the case. So, okay, so we also saw on Surviving the Survivor today, Jeremy Mutz. So I was really excited because it's always good to hear some new perspectives, especially from lawyers or people who know about the Dan Markel case, because as we've seen on some of the other channels or mainstream news, bigger channels, sometimes they get these people who really only have a very basic knowledge of this case. So what I found interesting from what Mutz was saying was he was cautioning us to don't get too excited, don't get too cocky or sure that there's going to be a guaranteed conviction of Charlie. So he told us about a few cases, reminded us of things where people were totally sure that the person had in fact committed the crime, but they still were found not guilty, or cases like Ellen Greenberg's case where no one even got arrested in her murder. So we can't get too confident. We haven't even seen Charlie's defense, have no idea what they're going to say, what witnesses they're going to put on. So he guessed that the defense could very well be just to poke holes throughout the whole prosecution's theory of the case, and maybe question law enforcement as to why they didn't look into other possible culprits. So it was a good show. Another thing that really made my ears perk up was when Carl mentioned that Katie McBanua had spent 12 hours speaking in court last week. So I had no idea that had happened. That makes me really optimistic that perhaps Katie is, in fact, going to testify for the state, and perhaps she is getting some sort of deal in exchange for that. I mean, there had to be a reason why she was totally glowing and looking really, really happy in her last mugshot. She even looked healthier. She looked like she had lost a little weight. So that got me pretty excited too, hearing that part from Surviving the Survivor. So again, let me take some credit for having Jeremy asked to be on the show, because I really encouraged STS to please invite him back, because he's one of the few attorneys that seems to really know the case. And he also worked for the prosecutor's office back then. So let's see, before my voice totally goes kaput, I want to help sell Mentor Lawyer's channel again. He is getting so close to 100,000 subscribers now, so I'm very happy for him. And he totally deserves it, because he was perhaps the first YouTuber who really covered the Dan Markel case when it happened so many years ago. So let's see. YouTube. Yeah, so he put out a quick, shorter video also today. Actually, a couple, I think. And there's one where he was talking about his personal observations about the jury selection today. He was actually in the courthouse and got to sit on a little bit of the questioning. So I'm not sure how he was able to get in there and actually listen to some of it, unless some of it was just in the courtroom, not really sure. So Anyway, I'm sure you guys can find his channel, Deep Dive True Crime. The video is called Mentor Lawyer Reacts Being in the Jury. There you go. I have to say here.
Mentor lawyer from
Too cheap to pay for the premium subscription for YouTube. Okay, so that's his latest video, being in the jury room with Charlie Adelson. So it's a very quick video, but definitely worth watching. So let me think some more about anything exciting that happened today. Not really. Looks like they're doing a quick, or I don't know, relatively brisk job of getting people in and out of there, trying to make sure that they get a good jury. And it's still going to happen tomorrow. So I don't know if anything really more exciting is going to happen tomorrow, because it doesn't sound like Georgia Kappelman is ready to have any witnesses until Wednesday at the earliest. So anyway, let's just go ahead and turn this off because it's really late. Totally tired. Hope you guys saw my short video this morning regarding Wendy Adelson and her strange words during her writing class podcast from 2015, which might not have been getting a lot of attention. I mean, certainly there were some details that I had basically forgotten that Debbie Martin pointed out. So I thought it was worthwhile to make a short video about that. So have a good evening, and maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow on the live streams. Thanks for watching. Take care.